Alright, so I've just wasted hours of my life watching The Vampire Diaries, so that you don't have to. And honestly, I've got a lot of questions. So, this show's on different streaming platforms and it does change. So, I get that. And yet, when it pops up, it's everywhere. Like, people talk about it like it's some elite TV series. Like it's got this peak storytelling, and I just don't think it's true. And look, I get it. Vampires, drama, love triangles. It sounds like it should work. And at times, it technically does. Like, so what is this story about? So this is what? A girl called Elena whining through her life. And yeah, she's got some points. She's allowed to have some whiny moments, like she loses things and all that. And then, she meets the two vampire brothers, and, the classic one's good, one is bad. And somehow both of them are constantly there. Like, wouldn't you sit there and question that? Like, you wouldn't look at some guy who's like fully in your business and constantly out of nowhere and be okay with that, because that's creepy. And from there, it just kind of erupts into chaos. Small town, but somehow every supernatural thing in existence is there. At some point or another, it's gonna be there. And don't get me wrong, to be fair, I do see why people get hooked. It's easy to watch, and it's got some good plots, good characters, easy to look at. First couple of episodes, they move fast and there's always something happening. And yet the drama, it is just constant. And I don't know if that's a good or a bad. Could be seen as both, technically, depending on how you look at it. I'm not gonna lie, some of it is pretty entertaining. Not in the, this is amazing way. More like, why am I still watching this? And after a while, I don't know, it just falls apart. It starts to feel like the same thing over and over again. Elena's in danger. Someone Elena cares about's in danger. She's got to sacrifice something. Someone else has got to sacrifice something. Like, bro, just stop whining and do something. Stop making terrible decisions. And then this cycle, it just repeats. Danger. Someone's emotional. Someone makes a terrible decision. And these decisions they make, it doesn't make sense. Like these people, you wouldn't just make this decision. No sane person would. I'm sorry. But no one thinks like this. Like, it's like every character wakes up and decides, you know what? Today I'm going to be an idiot. I'm not going to make good choices. I'm not even going to make smart choices, or even choices that make sense. I'm going to go throw everything to wind and just go with it. And then there's the love triangle, which goes on and on and on. There's only so much back and forth one person can make, seriously, before at least one of the parties decides, you know what, no, I'm going to walk away. Vampires are not. Eventually someone's got to give, right? Like, at some point you're not even invested anymore, you're just tired. Like, when you're watching something and you keep saying, like, just one more episode? Not because it's good, not because it's amazing, but because you've already put the time in. That's kind of this show. You start it and you think, you know what, fine, I'll give it more of a go, I'll keep it going. Maybe the characters will get better, maybe she'll grow and change. But it doesn't really happen, not really with the main characters. Like, you got Stefan and Damon, and they kind of grow, but they do backtrack occasionally, which is, normal. Then you got Elena, who just doesn't change. Don't get that. She's very whiny. She's not really someone you can look at and be relatable to. So, final verdict here is, and this is a dangerous one, because it's not bad enough to just quit it, but not good enough to really recommend. So I'm saying background noise at best. Don't skip it, but don't hold your hopes up high. If you've already watched all of it, damn, I respect your commitment. If you haven't, well, at least you now know what you're getting into. I'll keep testing shows and films so that you don't have to, because clearly I don't value my time very highly. This one, proceed with caution.